Morning, Andrew.
Morning, Vincent.
It's your Monday political cappuccino.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to the week before so that you can be fully prepared for the week ahead.
That's right. You don't want to get caught up and someone says, oh, yeah, well, last week you know this, and you're like, what? But we're just going to hit some of the highlights, some of the exciting things, and some of the things people might have missed.
Looking back,
yeah,
last week is actually quite a slow week. Despite the Legislative Council has reconvened their General Assembly.
Yeah.
But everybody is actually looking at this Wednesday.
Yeah, last week was the calm before the storm.
Yep.
And the storm is coming this week, and we'll talk about that in our week ahead that we do. Everybody, check it out. But I got a couple of small things that people might have missed, so I'm not going to cover off the big things. I'm going to cover off a couple of small things, especially for English language speakers who might have missed a couple of things from the Chinese news. So, number one, I want to talk about Nelson Chow.
Oh.
So Nelson Chow with the Pandem started making some moderate noises about the constitutional reform package that's going to come up this week, saying, maybe we should take it after all, and seeing if he could gather a few people among him. And, of course, that did not go down well with the leadership of the Democratic Party in Hong Kong. Right?
And then one of the members, Wang Xingji, has resigned from the core.
Yes.
Or the central leadership of the Democratic Party.
And then Nelson Chow, they had their disciplinary committee hearing, and he basically got the boot from that, from the leadership position. So he's still a member, and by member, it's not a casual member. It's like, it's a big deal to become a member, right? As we've talked about, they've got multi-tiers of progression as you get to the inner sanctum. So he's still a member, but I'm wondering if this whole theater around Nelson Chow saying maybe we should take it may have in fact been planned by the Democratic Party, right? Because the government has put so much time and effort into saying, oh, well, I'm sure we can get some people to come over to our side. Maybe we can get this guy. Maybe we can get that guy. Oh, the moderates are definitely going to fold, and we can bring them over, and everything will be fine. I'm wondering if they said, listen, we need somebody here, maybe one of the old guys who's not so active anymore. Maybe we need one of you guys to pretend that you might consider coming around so we can make a show of saying, we will not be turned.
I actually...
Did this occur to you as well?
I actually wrote something 2 weeks ago. In the Hong Kong Economic Journal.
Really?
I said when Wang Xingji has written an article.
Yeah.
I said it could be a staged event,
like a sacrificial lamb. And he knows it. And he's in on it.
But it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
If the public backslash is not that big.
Yeah.
Then the Democratic Party may find some space.
Right. Well, it's a way to
switch.
Yeah.
But if the public backslash is as huge as what happened for the past 12 days, then the Democratic Party can show, you see, our lamb has died and sacrificed.
Yes. We are holding the line and we will not be turned. But it was only, I guess, to your point, it's a way for them to float a trial balloon.
Yeah, just throw it.
Yeah, because those guys weren't going to be running for LegCo in 2017, so why not have them float it? See where the public goes on it, test it out, and then...
Fully agree.
So that was one thing that, another dimension of it, and you were obviously a couple of weeks ahead of me, smart guy.
No, not a couple.
Not a couple.
Just
a week,
2 weeks.
A week and a half? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Number 2, Regina Ip lost her nut last week.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if people aren't expressed with this.
It's not her normal state, you think?
No. No. And,
no, it's not her normal state. But why do you say that?
Well, because she came out with this bizarre, out of nowhere, and what good does it do her comment about domestic helpers and quote-unquote foreign bosses. And the way, now of course that was a statement made in Chinese, and then when it came across to the English language media, it only came across and was like, oh, that's racist against domestic helpers, because there's a very organized group.
Wait, what exactly did she say? When you are saying that she might be making discriminating comments, then
okay, so just to
what
set
exactly
the tone,
did she
right?
say?
In case you missed it, she made this comment about how domestic helpers from other countries, and of course that's code for the Philippines and Indonesia, maybe a little bit of Thailand, were seducing their foreign bosses and causing all kinds of problems and breaking up families in Hong Kong. And this was a statement. Now, because there is a political group that's sensitized and ready to jump on that, in the English media, the community came out that protects the domestic helpers and were like, you are slurring domestic helpers. This is racist. But nobody kind of picked up on the flip side of this, which is you're slurring the so-called foreign bosses as well. Hong Kong has always been a place that's hugely open to people from all around the world. Why would she do this? What is the political calculus in making a move like this? Number one. And number two, I could never imagine her doing that when she was part of Donald Tsang's administration. He would have slapped her silly for that.
Yes, but I have to give you...
What is the political calculus, Vincent? Enlighten me. Why?
This is the market they are going for.
All right, you better hold that up for the cameras. C9.
Yes.
Okay, so C9, not senile.
Not senile.
C9.
Senile is very, very frail.
That's a different
senior
target
citizen.
voter market.
No.
C9. What
it's
is
the
that
Cantonese.
about? Yeah.
But also a well-known internet language in local forum.
Okay, and what's it mean? Tell me, enlighten me.
Housewives.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think Regina is saying to this particular group.
She's speaking to housewives. Now, why?
Yeah, because a lot of housewives may have this conception, or misconception,
right?
For the discussion of the matter, conception or misconception.
But how many local housewives are married to foreign bosses? So they got to watch their.
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean? Is that a voter base?
I think the foreign bosses part.
Yeah.
Is out of line. I think what she wants to get the attention of is local housewives.
Local housewives
and their husbands.
So is this
regardless of foreign bosses or not?
Is this like a tabloid play? Is she just like trying to give everybody a cheap thrill and like just a dirty?
Yeah, because I think a lot of the housewives actually did accuse that the husband may look at the maids for or domestic helpers.
Yeah.
Or even look at them, or something like that.
Yeah.
You heard of them. Yeah. So, or when the housewives get together and waiting for the kids to come out from the school.
Yep.
Then they will talk about things like that.
Okay. So then they can feel like
Regina wants to join the discussion. It's actually a political play.
Okay.
Targeting the more affluent.
Okay.
And
the more affluent housewives, and Regina has their concerns in her heart,
exactly,
right?
Which is actually an election stunt,
right? So this is leading up to 2017.
At least it got your attention.
Well, in a bad way. I mean,
then she might be able to amend or fine tune her statement, saying that it's not about foreign bosses, but how a domestic helpers can impact the dynamics within the family should be seriously think about.
Well, certainly the housewives are a much bigger voting bloc than so-called foreign bosses. Like, I'm a voter. I've been here for coming about 19 years, and I'm a voter, and obviously I'm politically active, so I speak to a lot of people. And I was not impressed, but I'm not as big a voter bloc as housewives. But when it comes time for fundraising, if there's any of those foreign bosses that are working in local firms that, we're going to make a donation, they're like, hell no. I mean, really? And if she's going to modulate that statement, she better do it fast, because word is going around the expat foreign boss community that Regina Ip's got it out for us.
I agree.
Third thing, and this was kind of a fun one, Saturday night. Somehow I ended up...
Saturday Night Live?
No, well, there were some live elements. It was, so went to the movies with Mrs. Work.
Oh.
And sat down. I was sitting here. Mrs. Work was here, and sitting next to her was Martin Lee. Eminence Grise of the Democratic Movement. Sitting next to him was Edward Chin. And
are you allowed to?
The reason?
Are you allowed to tell the audience about this?
Oh yeah, it's all over our Facebook, our Twitter. And what it was is it was the launch of a new group, and they gave us a piece of paper, the 2047 Hong Kong Monitor and 2047 Hong Kong Finance Monitor. This is basically Ed Chin's finance group from Occupy Central, figuring out what they want to do after Occupy Central.
Oh.
So they launched with a showing of the American movie Selma, which is all about getting the vote and human rights. And I hadn't seen it before, and I probably wouldn't have gone to see it. But we got signed up for this, and it was quite interesting. But it was all lessons for the Democratic movement here. Mm-hmm. Don't let your infighting get in the way of your public message, which our guys have a lot of trouble with, frankly.
Yep.
When they tell you to wait and take what you can get for now, you will never get it if you wait. Martin Luther King was like, "Sorry, Lyndon Johnson, but we gotta carry on. With all due respect, we are not going to stop. We gotta." What other messages were there? I put them all down on our Facebook. There were some other ones there. Oh yeah, keep trying. Even if you don't think you're making any progress, keep trying. And the other side will make mistakes, preferably by beating up your people. And we saw that in spades during Occupy Central.
But you know what? The whole movement anchored with Martin Luther King.
Of course.
Just like the democratic movement in Hong Kong here, anchored on another Martin.
Martin Lee. Well, I mean, we watched the movie for 2 hours, and then Martin Lee got up and gave a speech. It was like, Martin. Oh, got it.
It
was pretty obvious.
That's another stunt.
Yes.
But you see, Hong Kong may have politicians.
Yes.
But I think, almost never have an orator.
It's, a Martin Luther, of that stature, of that, and I didn't realize this, but Martin Luther King was only 39 when he was assassinated.
Yes,
I mean, the guy did a lot when he was so young. And
but he is an orator.
Yes.
I mean, we can have speaker, we can have debater, but in politics, it's always the orator that moves the crowd to one direction, and we never have that.
Well, not yet, but...
People just boo them most of the time.
True. But that being said, if you walk the streets during Occupy Central, there were all these people that were standing out there, and they would have crowds around them. Maybe the seeds of future orators are there, and they're going to grow up into great orators, like a John A. MacDonald or a Martin Luther King or an Abraham Lincoln type. Who knows?
But I think that our training or our education system does not really give people this voice.
Yeah, it does not lend to it. Yeah. But maybe they'll get their education in the streets. We'll have to see. So those are my picks for last week. And check out our social media. There's more about it there.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
All right. Catch you later.